Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, hi, my name is Gbemi Abiola, welcome. So today, I'm going to be showing you guys a new makeup technique. It's not really new to the makeup community, but it's new to me. I just started recently doing it, and that is the underpainting makeup technique. So what that entails is that you highlight and you contour underneath your foundation to give you a really nice flawless base. This has been resurfacing here on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, so I thought you guys would be interested in seeing how I like to underpaint. What I've been seeing lately is with the underpainting, people like to go really drastic, like really light concealer, really dark cream contour. You guys do not need to do that. Just use what you have. Literally just use what you have and it's gonna come out amazing. So I'm just gonna show you the way I like to underpaint, and I'll walk you guys through all the steps, obviously, so you guys get that nice, amazing, gorgeous, glowy base. So if you're interested, please keep on watching, and if you're not, please stop right here. It's not worth your time and effort. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, I'm starting off with bare skin, just have moisturizer on. So I'm going to start off with my primer. I'm going to be using the Milk Hydrogrip primer for that. And I'm just going to apply this onto my face with my hands. Next, what I like to do is, before I do my highlighting and my contouring, I always like to color correct. I have darkness underneath my eyes and around my nose, my mouth, and my nose, excuse me. So what I like to do is color correct, and I use a red toned concealer for that. For this, I'm going to be using the Rare Beauty concealer in 530N. And I'm not like doing a full like spread of concealer. You do not need a lot of concealer when you're color correcting. You only need a little bit. So I'm going to be using my sponge. This is just a Real Technique sponge. This is my favorite sponge of life. And I'm just gonna blend that concealer out. Next, I'm going to add some glow to my skin. I want that glowy look from within, and I'm going to go into my Salt New York Pro Cream Tints. I'm going to go into the shade Bronze, which is this shade, and Gold, which is this shade. I love these like cream tints a lot. I also have a code with Salt New York, which is Fami30 if y'all want to save some money. I definitely recommend these. These are like my favorite kind of cream highlighter. So what I'm doing is I'm adding that glow to my skin underneath, and that's really gonna show through after I finish my skin. It's gonna give me that nice glow from within, and I'm not gonna have to use a ton of highlighter over the top of it. So now I'm going to contour my face. So I do this in 2 steps. So I do a kind of like cream bronze, and then I do my actual sculpt. So for my cream bronze, I'm going to be using the Fenty Beauty Matchsticks in Espresso. I use this shade to kind of warm up my face rather than like straight up contouring, because this is more red, and I kind of like a more like red tone bronze. And this won't really like sculpt me, so I'm just gonna apply this to my face. You could see that's quite red. If I'm gonna actually use something to sculpt, I like something more neutral, so I'm just using this to bronze my face. So now I'm gonna blend that out, and I am going to be using this Japanese 718 brush. This is actually meant for powder, but I really like this brush to blend creams with. It's so good. I get mine at TJ Maxx. I think I have maybe like 7 or 8 of them, They're also in my kit brushes as well. And this is like my favorite like cream brush, just to apply like cream blush, cream contour. This is a really good brush to have. Now I'm gonna go in with my actual contour. This is Fenty Beauty and Ebony, the Matchsticks in Ebony. This is a more neutral kind of color, so this is what I use to sculpt. So I'm just going over the place where I bronzed. And as you can see, I'm not going super drastic with my contour. I use this every day and it's gonna end up looking really, really flawless afterward. So you do not need to go super dark with your contour whatsoever. Now I'm gonna go into concealer. This is the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Sculpting Concealer in the shade Chestnut. Gorgeous neutral golden shade. And I'm going to just literally just highlight the very center of my face. You do not need a lot of concealer when you're doing this. You want to know why you do not need a lot of concealer when you are doing this technique? People forget that concealer spreads. It blends out when you're blending. It spreads as you blend. So you just need the smallest amounts, because when you blend it, number one, it's a full coverage product. So when you blend it, it will literally migrate outwards. So you don't need to have a ton of concealer all the way out to your temples. That's way too much, because it's literally, it's not gonna go anywhere. It's literally not gonna go anywhere. So now that I have placed my contour and my concealer, I always start by blending my contour first. So I'm going to start and just use the same brush that I used to blend out Espresso. I'm gonna blend out Ebony and just blend it down towards the middle of my forehead. I know that looks very dark right now. I promise it's gonna look way better once I blend out my highlight and once I put my foundation on. So I'm just blending out Ebony. Some people, when they do this, they just put it on and then blend it all together. You don't have to blend all together. Like, if you feel like you have to do what I'm doing, where you blend in between each step, do that. Do what works for you. So now I'm gonna take my sponge and start blending out my concealer. As you can see, as I'm blending, the concealer is starting to spread. So you do not need to use a ton of concealer. For this technique, as you can see, it already spread. Less is more. Okay guys, I know I'm looking a little bit crazy right now, but we're gonna get into foundation. So for foundation, I'm gonna be using the Nars Soft Matte Complete Foundation. I've been really liking this foundation a lot. It's not super matte, but it's not super hydrating. It's like a good demi-matte satin finish in the middle, and I absolutely love it. So people are probably gonna ask me my shade matches. So I mix New Caledonia and Iguacu together. I realized that Iguacu is too dark and New Caledonia is too light. But mixing them together creates the perfect shade match for me. So that's why I have these two. Same thing in the Radiant Longwear. I have to mix them now. It's a whole story, but yes. So that's what the foundation I'm gonna be using today. I have it on my mixing plate here. I'm just gonna mix them together. I'm gonna take a clean Japanese brush and I'm just going to apply it basically in the areas that I don't have makeup, as well as to blend my highlight and contour together. So I'm putting it on my jaw, basically, just applying it, and I'm just basically placing it right now. I'm not blending it. I always like to blend this out with a sponge to give me a more flawless look. So I'm just placing it in the areas between my highlight and contour and anywhere that has no foundation. So here, once I have placed my foundation down, now I go in with my sponge and I just blend basically my foundation into my highlight and my contour. And as you can see, like, just look at that blend. Just look at that phenomenal blend. So you do not need to do such a drastic highlight and contour. So you don't need to do the gimmick of just going super light with everything. Just use what you have. See this look. That blend looks awesome so far. Okay guys, so this is what my base looks like now. Obviously you can tell it's like really, really nice, really, really blended. So I'm gonna go in with cream blush now. I like to do this like under actual blush because I feel like sometimes actual blush can get lost on me sometimes. I'm going to be using the More Salt New York Cream Pro Tints. I'm going to be mixing the shade Peach and the shade Spice. So these two shades right here. I'm taking another Japanese 718 brush. Like I said guys, this is one of my favorite brushes. I'm just gonna basically just stipple this on. It's just so nice. So I'm just gonna stipple this on. Just add a little bit of color and use this kind of prep as a base for powder blush. Okay guys, now I'm gonna set my face. So I'm gonna set my concealer. I'm gonna be using the Chanel Natural Loose Powder. This is in the shade 40 Dore. This is the old formula, by the way. Chanel redid the formula. Don't like the new formula because number one, it's aluminum heavy, and I get bad ingrown hairs and swollen lymph nodes and blocked pores with the new formula. And it's also more yellow. This is kind of like a nice beigey brown for deeper skin tones. Now I'm going to set the rest of my face, and for that I'm going to be using my MAC Mineralize Skin Finish in Dark Deepest. And I'm just going to press that all over the rest of my face. I don't like to buff it in. Well, sometimes I do, but for the most part I just like to kind of tap. So now I'm going to bronze my face. For that I'm just going to take my Fenty Beauty Mocha Mami. You can see how basically how much I use this thing, and I'm just going to use, this is a Real Techniques 203 Rebel Edge Broad Brush. This is one of my favorite brushes for bronzer. Just gonna sweep this onto my cheeks. Contour, I'm gonna be going into my Midas Cosmetics. I'm still so proud of Darius over this collab. This is the Midas Cosmetics in Neon MU8 Dusk palette. Gonna hit up that contour shade and then just use this to just kind of contour, just add a little bit of shape back into my face. I'm so proud of Darius over this collab. This definitely is a good palette for every day. Like for highlight, blush, contour, bronze, because it's all in there ready for you. Like it's all in there ready for you and you don't have to do anything. So I'm just gonna use that. One of my favorite makeup palettes, face palettes. So for my blush, I'm going to be going into these two Mineralize blushes. This is Lovejoy and this is Flirting with Danger. And I'm going to mix both of them. And I'm going to go in with another Real Techniques brush. This is the Rebel Edge Medium brush. Just going to use it on the cheek, over where I placed that cream blush. Like, as you can see, me putting down the cream blush, it's kind of popping the powder blush a little bit more. And that's what I wanted. So now I am going to go in with a little bit of powder to clean up my contour. I typically do not like doing this when I do my makeup, but this technique has you doing stuff. So I'm going to be using the Laura Mercier Translucent Medium Deep Powder. I'm going to be taking a similar brush to my contour brush. I'm just going to take that and then just kind of sweep it down. Just going to kind of place it and then just sweep it. And then this is going to kind of help clean that up a bit. As you can see, I'm not using a lot of pressure because I want this to dust off later. If I use a lot of pressure, it's just gonna leave a weird line. So this is just gonna kind of clean my cheek up a bit. So now I'm going to quickly do my eyebrows off camera like I normally do, and then we can get into eyeshadow. Alright y'all, so I am back. I did my brows and my eyeshadow off camera. I just figured I should just do my eyeshadow off camera just to save time. So for that I use the Lunar Beauty Eternal Eclipse palette. This palette is so beautiful. This palette's so pretty, and I was like, let me play with some of the grays today, and look at it. Look at the material. So that's what's on my eyes, my lashes, as you guys know, Sovereign by Allure by AV. Link will be down below. If you want to save some money, my code is BEMS20. So that's basically what's on my eyeballs. Now I'm just gonna dust off this from underneath the contour, the Laura Mercier powder. As you can see, because I did not use a ton of pressure, this is just dusting off really, really nicely. Okay guys, so now I'm gonna go into my highlight. I'm gonna be using the Fenty Beauty highlighter in Afternoon Snack and Hunny. It's like a really nice champagne-y highlighter. It's so pretty. I'm gonna spray my face down with some Fix Plus first. Glistening. I'm gonna take Afternoon Snack and Hunny. A little bit of that and just literally tap that on the cheek and the high points of my face. My lip. My nose. For my lips, I am gonna go in with MAC Chestnut Lip Pencil. Then I'm gonna use Fleshpot lipstick. Is this a matte? This is a satin. So this is Fleshpot. Then I'm gonna go into Love Potion Lip Gloss by McGrath. Okay guys, so this is my face after I finished my makeup. So when it comes to underpainting, less is more. I'm seriously telling you, less is more. I know people are saying that you have to highlight and contour extremely for it to have the best results. No, you do not. Because when it comes to putting all that product on your face, if you put more on, it's going to be harder in the end to blend out. That's why I didn't really like the concealer, I didn't take it all the way out to my temples. I kept it in the center of the face because I knew when I start blending it, it's going to blend outwards. It needs to spread somewhere. It needs to go somewhere. Same thing with the contour. I mostly kept it up here, and then when I blended it down, it came down. The foundation, you do not need to slap a full coverage foundation over your highlight and the contour. I end up using a lot less foundation with this technique versus like my regular routine. You just really need to put foundation in the areas that you didn't have any makeup, so like underneath like your jaw, your lower jaw basically, and then to blend in between your highlight and contoured areas. That's all you need to do. You don't need that much foundation. Basically, the foundation is meant to be kind of like a blender shade between them. Yeah, that's basically how I like to underpaint, and that's, I know, how a lot of people like to underpaint. It comes out more flawless this way. Hope you all have a wonderful day wherever you are. Let me know what you think of this makeup look. Will you try this look? Will you try underpainting? Have you attempted underpainting? Let me know. Don't forget to follow me on my social media. My Instagram and my Twitter are at Gbemi Abiola. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you are, and I will see you on the next video. Bye guys!